My name is Dale Pino, and I'm the Vice President of Retirement Living for Sifton Properties in London, Ontario. Right now I'm a sitting board member, and in previous years I've been through the accreditation process and a surveyor, as well as being on multiple committees. Well, I think the perspective of probably a smaller operator within retirement living is that we can be very accommodating to people. So each community has its uniqueness, and we can be very responsive to that. I look at Orca as a center of innovation, really. They are full of terrific ideas, standard practices. There's the collegial and networking perspective as well for every level within the organization. I would tell them that they should belong to Orca because they're involving themselves with an organization that's completely top drawer, that has the best interests of the senior population at their heart, and that they can offer them a lot of good advice and guidance along the way. Well, I enjoy the Orca Bulletin. They're keeping you abreast of everything that's going on that you might not otherwise pick up, say on a news release or in different areas of the province that may or may not affect you directly. So I really like the member bulletins that come out. I also really enjoy the educational roadshows that they have in place. I find that it's a valuable tool to send our department managers and some of our frontline supervisors so that they get a sense that they belong to a sector that's just larger than their role. Summer conference is concentrating on diversity within our senior population and operators, and trying to educate the sector as the changing needs and the demographics change within the senior group that we're trying to serve.
My name is Brock Hall. I'm Vice President at Shepherd Village. It's a retirement community in Scarborough, Ontario. And I'm also here on the board, Orca board. VP for nonprofit organizations. For the most part, we are a single standalone operation. So like a lot of small operators, we have to make a lot of arrangements to make sure we are up to standards, up to the legislative standards, and making sure that we're working with current practices and using best practices. Well, particularly for standalone nonprofit operators, it's certainly an organization we don't have the large resources of a larger chain, but so we do rely on Orca to give us what's going on in the field and to understand what's going on in the field and how to deal with it and how to approach dealing with the compliance issues that the RHRA is throwing at us. Also to help make sure we're competitive in the market, because we are competing with a lot of different people out there. And we want to make sure we are using best practices. So when people are shopping, they're shopping for the best value and the best organization. And so we certainly look to try and provide the best service we can. And Orca is a great resource for us to use to help get us up to those standards. Definitely, if you're considering it, you should consider being a part of the organization. The membership gives you great value for what you contribute. It has many services available to you to really support you in your operations.
Mike Lavallee, and I'm Chief Operating Officer for Seasons Retirement Communities, and I'm past board chair, which makes me liaison to the commercial committee. You know, as an association and an industry, we really rely on our commercial members to help provide solutions and bring goods and services. I mean, operators can focus on the day-to-day, but we're not experts in everything that we do in our business, and so we rely on our commercial members to bring new ideas, innovation, and make us look at our business from different perspectives. Plus, they are looking at opportunities to either increase our top line or help us save money, which we otherwise might not be aware of. So they really can be very valuable to an operator. This venue is a perfect example of how they can interact with, especially if they're new and they have not built relationships or networks. But within the association, the commercial members have sponsorship opportunities. They can come to this venue, our road shows, both in the spring and the fall. They can come to the Together We Care conference, which is a partnership between us and our long-term care partners. And so there are numerous opportunities, plus the newsletter, plus advertising opportunities, and then the networking opportunities that exist here in the kind of social, informal environment that we are finding ourselves in Collingwood. One of the things that we hear every year from our commercial members is there's a core group of commercial members that never go anywhere. They're stalwarts. They've been here for a very long time, and they've figured out how to maximize the value of their relationship with us as operators. But there's some new people who are new to the sector who are trying to find their way. And so what we wanted to do was give them a unique opportunity to look at our business from an operator's perspective. So my presentation was specifically to think in terms of, if I was a small operator, here are the challenges that I'm working through every day, and the kinds of decision-making processes that would probably exist. If I'm a medium-sized operator, I'd have different resources at my disposal. And so to provide goods and services or to get to decision makers, there'd be a different kind of approach. And then the large operators who are very diversified and decentralized, who'd have subject matter experts, specialists, the sales cycle would be different yet again. So for someone who's new to our sector, I thought it was a great opportunity to kind of paint that canvas with a broad brush. There is no better way to get in front of operators in our sector. Our sector, as an association, our association represents about 93% of the entire operator sector. So if you want to sell to someone who's an operator in retirements, this is the only show. This is the only venue.
I'm Heather Green, President and Chief Executive Officer of a small marketing and sales company called Greenhouse Marketing and Communications. I have been a member of Orca for about 28 years. First as an operator member with a couple of different companies, and as a commercial member these days. I think Orca is one of those organizations which reinvents itself, in that it looks at the opportunities that are out there, it looks at the challenges of its members, and it's constantly changing and evolving to meet those things. It's a complex industry, and Orca is meeting those complexities by coming up with solutions and products and services. It's just, I've seen organizations come and go, associations over the years, but Orca continues to sort of evolve to meet the needs. And as a commercial member, I find it gives us an unprecedented opportunity to communicate with those decision makers, to have great events where we can meet on a one-on-one, a level playing field, as well as the opportunity for things like sponsorships and advertising, trade show opportunities. So really a plethora of great opportunities to actually mix with the people who are our customers. If I was a new commercial member trying to figure out how I make real inroads in this industry, using my Orca membership, I'd take advantage of as many opportunities as I could. So it's a multi-pronged sort of integrated marketing approach. I'd have my listing on the website. I would also look at advertising, maybe in the newsletter. I would definitely look at coming and spending time at the events, actually sitting with members, talking to them. I might consider either a trade show at the Together We Care conference, or being in the marketplace at the summer conference. There are lots of different opportunities, and great sponsorship opportunities as well. I think it's a case of really identifying amongst the membership, who are you talking to? Are you talking to the site general managers? Is that who your market is? The site directors of care? Or do you need a head office contact? And then really choosing the events and the things you're going to do to match your efforts up with where that group is. I think membership in Orca adds credibility to us. And in doing so, we get in front of people for sure, but it also allows us to showcase what we do, which adds to our credibility. Sometimes there have been speaking engagements, which are great, or the opportunity to participate on committees, so to really rub elbows with those decision makers. And again, I wouldn't have that opportunity if it wasn't on an Orca committee, and it really does sort of elevate my standing in the eyes of those people who are my customers. They begin to see us as a peer, as peers rather than just as suppliers. I think it's a great value in terms of dollars, well worth attending events, and also I would suggest to people, don't just join, but really participate in what goes on.
Chris Brockington, I'm a partner at InInitiative Inc. We're a healthcare consulting company. I believe I'm into my 10th year as a member of Orca. I've been a member of Orca for 10 years. Well, in my business, which is consulting, we rely heavily on relationships. It is extremely valuable to us that we're always spending face time with operator members. As much as we don't necessarily go in and have conversations about the stuff we do at that point, it's creating those one-on-one relationships, those bonds that are valuable to us. Well, as chair of the Orca Commercial Committee, we as a committee decided that we wanted to do more outreach to commercial members. So we decided that we were going to host an information session. It was a meeting for commercial members. Specifically, we wanted to target new commercial members to give them a little bit of information in terms of, well, how do you actually sell to this? What are the messages that you have to deliver when you're speaking with an operator? So this session for us was, again, a first. We hope that we can build on it. We kept it relatively tight in terms of timelines. We had a wonderful panel discussion. We had a great presentation delivered by Mike Lavallee. And again, the focus was, what does it take to be a good commercial member? What does it take to have great relationships with operators? You should become a commercial member because, in my opinion, there really is no other alternative. Orca is the definitive voice in this province. Orca has earned a solid reputation over the years. I've spent, in my previous life when I was on the operator side, working on several different committees. Orca's value position and proposition is clearly heard and understood in every single community across this province. So why would you not be a commercial member? It is in your best interests to be here. From my perspective, Orca is an organization that truly delivers value. I have volunteered over a number of years sitting on the Orca Commercial Committee. I chose to sort of move up to the chair role. I believe that it's all of our responsibilities to give back to the association. One of the messages that I delivered was about patience. This is not an organization where you're going to go in and you're going to set the world on fire overnight. You have to have patience. And this association has truly great operators, and you need to be here.
Benefits of being a commercial member is, of course, connection to Orca with all its memberships, and also Orca information and updates that affect our sector. And I would not be as well informed if I was not a member of Orca, and Orca does the work of vetting out and scoping out what's new and exciting and informative in our sector. So being an Orca commercial member is invaluable. Don't hesitate. It's a membership well worth it, and if you become a member, you will realize you should have become a member sooner. And the benefits of learning and getting the materials and meeting with delegates, understanding what's happening in our sector through the Orca organization is invaluable. I would encourage everyone to become a member right away. Go out now, sign up. Do it now if you haven't done it yet.